Classics, I have the pleasure of having Manos Gerakinis as my guest today. He's the founder of an amazing perfume house that I'm simply obsessed with that carries his name. Welcome, Manos.
Welcome. I'm really happy to be here with you today. It's a real honor.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Let's begin with your personal journey. Before launching your brand in 2014, you created a fragrance for yourself. It wasn't intended to be shared publicly. What is your background and what led you from fragrance lover to fragrance creator?
I've been a fragrance lover for all of my life, and my studies are in finance. But in 2002, I went to do my master's degree in London, and I started working in Liberties. Liberties was the first to introduce niche perfumes in the UK. And then I moved on to Harrods, being a manager in a luxury department. And what I didn't realize is that all these years, I got into the perfume industry more and more through our clients because I was in a department that could do custom products for everyone. So I got into the industry without realizing, because we had a lot of Arab customers as well who are obsessed with perfumes and they've got a completely different culture. What I was missing from background and industry from Greece, I got in London. And then in 2012, I returned to Greece. And because I had to go to army because it's compulsory here. And as soon as I got out, I said, I'm going to make a dream come true. And that dream was to create my own personal perfume. And that was Sillage Royal in 2013. And because all of my friends and customers, people around were asking me what it was and they complimented it, I thought, maybe I've got a little talent here. And that's how the business started. It was never like intended, or it was never the marketing. It was all out of love and passion for the industry and having a voice.
That's wonderful. It's a beautiful story. I wish I could make my own perfumes too, but I don't need to. You're doing it for me.
Bless. Eventually you might do, you never know.
Maybe, yeah. So starting a perfume house is a significant undertaking. How did you fund the launch? Like, was it entirely self-financed or did you have partners or investors?
It was completely self-funded through my savings from the years I've spent in London, because I was there for over 10 years. And when I realized that this is a dream and my vision, what better way to invest than to myself and the business I created? So yes, I'm not saying no to partners as long as we share the same vision. I'm open to people, but at the moment there's no, just self-funded.
That's great. It's good to be independent too. So you have full control and do whatever you want to do. So I could see the appeal.
Yeah, double risk there, because you take the responsibility for good decisions and for bad decisions as
Of
well.
course, of course, of course. And it takes you a long time. I think I read somewhere that it took you 9 months to develop your formula for one of your fragrances. But when
Yes.
you have investors, you got to be, you got to
And,
get stuff out.
but I like slow perfumery. It's when sometimes I work on different projects with a lot of perfumers at the same time, and sometimes it doesn't work out. I've worked with well-known, famous perfumers for a vision, but it was not. It was never completed. It never came out to public because I was not um, completely satisfied with the idea. So yes, if you have investors, you have to be a machine, and this is not a machine. Definitely not.
Absolutely. I like the slow perfumery approach. Now, Greece has an ancient relationship with scent. They were the originators of perfume, really. But in Greece, there are very few. I think you're the only niche perfume house there. If not, it's a few. Was it a unique challenge to build a brand in a place that doesn't have that perfume infrastructure?
When you go somewhere and do things out of passion, you don't really think of all the little details. And then you either swim or basically you have no option rather than to swim. So, yeah, there's no infrastructure. I mean, contemporary infrastructure, no culture nowadays for perfumery. But at the same time, that was quite great because I had to create my own standards and I had to educate both clients and suppliers to meet the high standards that I wanted for the brand. So it turned out to be good because they now work on my standards rather than me working on theirs.
Yeah, I could see the appeal of that, definitely. Many of your fragrances highlight materials from Greek identity, like fig, labdanum, saffron, immortelle. Do you source your raw materials from Greece or do you do global sourcing?
We do global sourcing in most of them because we want to have the finest quality we can find. But there are some materials that I insist on finding them locally because I want us to support the local market and the local production, because it's also very important, like labdanum and saffron, even smoke. Greece is a big, we cultivate them. So it's a pity not to use them in the perfumery that we produce. And plus, there's not that many perfume brands. So we might as well use as much as we can locally, but I can't say it's everything local. There's a lot that we get globally.
So wherever you can get the best quality is where
Yeah.
you're going to source it. So,
Yeah.
and it's wonderful that you're supporting the Greek market too. That is very important too. Can you walk us through your production model? Like, for example, you think about an idea, you say, this is the perfume I want to create. How do you go about from idea to formulation to production to distribution? What does it look like at your fragrance home?
It takes longer than it sounds, because I can just put a sentence to it and it's over. But I get a lot of inspiration, which is good. I think that I'm an artist at soul because I've been painting myself since I was a little child, and I can go on holidays and get inspired. I can go out with friends and have a lovely discussion and be inspired. I can travel and be inspired, read poetry. Anything can be inspiration if you're open to it. So as soon as I have a vision, I communicate that, and that is sometimes it's difficult because I think creative directors need to be able to translate their vision into a way that the perfumer can actually understand, because we all have different backgrounds and families, so we've all grown up in a different way. So somebody needs to see through my eyes what I mean by saying a sunset in Santorini under a fig tree. Like this is the sort of the vision for Methéxis. So I had to pass it on to Chris, and then you have to choose the right perfumer who's going to be able to understand that vision. And it's very funny because sometimes they agree straight away. Sometimes, for example, Chris in Methéxis, he said to me, no, I don't like fig. But then I pushed him outside his limits, and he created a perfume that I think is amazing. So after that, it takes quite some time with a lot of trials and efforts and perfumes coming back and forwards and making changes. And at some point, when my mind stops and I say, there's nothing I can do to make it better, and basically nothing comes up, I just smell and shut my eyes and I have the vision, it means the perfume's ready. So from then onwards, we start the production. Production takes a long time as well because we need to maturate the perfume. We need to put alcohol, they create the essence, then the mixture with alcohol, then the maturation, and then bottling and all the marketing, and then it ends up to the final client. So it can take, the least I think it ever took for a perfume was 3 months. And the maximum was 1.5 years, maybe 2, because I even changed the perfume because it wouldn't work out with the original formulation. So it's hard to say. You don't click a button and it's done. I mean, the way I want it to be and the way I want to portray and have the vision for the brand.
It's painstaking process, so it can be very long, but it's meticulous and it shows in the quality of the material. So I got a chance to discover your discovery sets here. I have some favorites, and I can
Oh, you
tell you
do?
what I'm wearing today. I actually loved honeysuckle. That was not in the discovery set, but today I am wearing rose poetique. This
Rose
is
poet.
this is yeah, this is my perfume today. I love it. What a beautiful rose. I just love it. I love all of them. I didn't test one that I didn't like. So what I did notice is all of your perfumes are unapologetically bold. They're long wearing and they're very sensual, actually. They're very
Ah,
sexy perfumes. Yeah. My husband even noticed that I made him smell the rose this morning. He was like, "Oh, this is amazing." So, and I know that he said it with lights in his eyes. So they are very sensual. Can you walk me through the collections and some of the best sellers or your favorite scents?
well, the first perfume was Sillage Royal. And I think because it was only intended for me, I wanted something that will be a statement. You walk into a room and people who look at you, you will make great first impression without talking, without doing anything. And it's a pleasing perfume for somebody who's has a boost for confidence. It's a major booster. That's why it's very bold. And the second perfume was Quintessence. So basically, after we made something very bold, Quintessence was softer, woodier, because the first two perfumes was actually intended for me. Then Rose, I always loved roses since I was a kid, and I really wanted, it was the time that I fell in love with labdanum, and I wanted something to combine damask rose and labdanum, and something that will be mouth-watering almost, although it's a flower. That was a great collaboration with Jean-Francois Tizon. Then Immortelle and Pivoine almost came along together. Immortelle being a flower, the first gourmand in the collection. It was bestseller as soon as the stores. It was a flower turned into gourmand. So a lot of reviewers and a lot of press. We're talking about now like 2017, maybe like a couple of years ago already. And then Pivoine, which is floral, peonies and roses, jasmine, a happy perfume, a very happy perfume. Then I met Miguel Matos in one of Exans in Milan. And I said to Miguel, I want to do a perfume because we clicked. And we've done Omen, my only green sort of perfume, inspired by Delphi. So the oracle of Delphi would say the future. And that's why the name Omen, so you don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that's going to come in the future. And it's a collaboration between the bad guy and the good guy. So whoever's wins doesn't matter. And I was very happy because Omen was a finalist for Art and Affliction Awards. And then the year after, I met Chris Maurice, and we've done Anthem together, which was also finalist for Art and Affliction Awards. And then the next year, we've done Methéxis with Chris Maurice. The story I said with Fig, because he didn't want to do Fig, but everyone was asking me after Immortelle for a second gourmand. Although people were saying that we don't need another Fig perfume, we don't need another Fig perfume, until they tried Methéxis, which is a combination of honey and cacao. It's very delicious, very mouth-watering. After that, I've done the collaboration with my Turkish distributors, and we've introduced Imperial Malt and Wild Tuberose. He wanted a gourmand, so we've done whiskey. And he said to me, Turkish women love white florals, so let's do tuberose. So I've done Wild Tuberose. And then this year, we introduced just like a month ago, Pure Honeysuckle, which is again another white floral because Wild Tuberose was so successful. So we've introduced that to Turkey. And I had Selene as well, which is inspired by Athens. It's what Athens smelled to me in the evening. So it's neroli together with night jasmine. I think it's a beautiful and happy perfume. And then the last launch for the main brand was Sillage X, which is the perfume from Sillage Royal, the first perfume, to Sillage X 10 years later, a vetiver-based perfume, because people thought that it's going to be connected to Sillage Royal as in ingredient-wise, it will smell similarly. But the intention was to create a classic. So I wanted a classic ingredient because I love perfume. And I remember all this vetiver-based perfume my father and my grandfather used to wear, and I wanted to bring it to today. So together with Iris, we made it softer, and I think we brought something classic to today. And I think it's important because people nowadays, they try and follow the trends. I don't like that. I want to do something that I believe vetiver is so important as an ingredient. It has to be brought today. and it's gonna find its own clientele eventually.
Yeah,
So
I
that
love it. I love it. Yeah. All the perfumes smell like they could have been a perfume I used 10 years ago, but it's also very current to today. And I can imagine myself using it 10, 20 years down the line too. So they're very timeless. They don't smell like chasers.
I'm very happy
Um,
to, because that was actually the intention.
That's great. Well, it definitely comes across as somebody who loves perfume too, as a consumer. So, but today's market, the niche fragrance market, is so saturated. I mean, so saturated. Every day, I can't keep up. So we did a segment called "What's New," and I was like, oh, forget it. I can't keep up. There's no way. There's every day. There's 10 new perfumes popping up. So this makes it very difficult for brands that are truly niche like yours to stand out of the crowd. What do you do? How are you marketing yourself so that you do stand out and you do have a seat in the market?
I believe that authenticity is very important here, and that the important thing is the actual juice and the perfume. So all the marketing, the storytelling, the packaging, everything else comes later on to as a supporting role to what is important, and what is important is the actual perfume. I'm not saying that I don't hear trends and I don't see what's happening in the market, but to be honest, I follow my instinct. And because I'm happy to be independent, I take the risk of doing what I like. Yes, there's been perfumes that have been more successful than others, but at least I'm happy with what I created. And I think it's a beautiful collection. And eventually, as you said, it's timeless. So eventually it's going to find its client.
It's kind of speaking for itself. It has a voice of its own. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Looking ahead now, do you have plans on staying independent, or are you open to collaborations or investments from the outside?
Well, the good news is I'm happy to be independent, and I like my independency. I like my creativity to be independent and do whatever I like. And I believe that partners are also my distributors and retailers, because we all build something together, and some of them, they trusted me. For example, Near in Perfumology, we've been working together for 8 years. So they trusted the brand very early on. So for me, they are sort of partners in crime. So we got along together, we grew up together. But if there is anyone who would ever come and respect the vision and what the brand philosophy and aesthetics and ethics are, because it's not always about the money. Yes, it is, and you want to make money, you want to be able to pay the bills and grow, but you need to grow in the pace that you can, and we grow gradually, slowly, and we still grow. So if somebody can respect that, I'm very happy.
That's great. That's very good. It's, slow perfumia, organic growth. These are all very good standards to live by. How does your team look now? Like what is your team like? Are you solo or do you have people helping you out?
I've got a couple of people helping me out, but the way the business is structured is that I have a lot of external collaborations. Like the lab is external, but at the same time, it's the same lab since I started work, since I started the business. So the digital team I've got for 6 years already. So although it seems that there are a lot of external partnerships, to me, because we've been working for so long, it's like it's in-house, if that makes sense. And it feels like we are one team. I don't feel I'm alone, although we're not a lot of people. That's why most of the production is small batches, and everything is touched by hand. There's nothing made fully by a machine. I love imperfection. It's my next big motto. We need to embrace imperfection, because that means that somebody, a human being, actually touched the perfume, put the label, put the cap and everything. It can't be 100% perfect. If you want 100% perfect, you can go to mass market. There are other brands, and it's a saturated market. You can find what you want, but not here.
No, absolutely. I mean, you can tell everything has even the discovery set came with a note. So that was a very nice personal touch as well. Do you have plans or do you have a store in Greece right now?
I don't have an own brand store, but we've got a store downtown in Athens, in King George Perfumery, which is downtown. And there are retails in 25 countries in total, and around 50 stores that we work with.
Do you have plans on opening your own?
I would love to, but it's not something I intend to do very soon.
I see. Yeah,
I'm
it is a
open.
good
I'm
experience.
open to ideas, but you know what? I have so many ideas, and I want to do so many other things that keeping one store. I don't know. I think it's going to be difficult at this time. But I
Mhm.
like traveling. I like visiting the stores we already have, and I like personal connections with people. They're very important to me. So I like
You
traveling.
probably get a lot of feedback too from that experience, right?
Very important, yes, because you get to know the actual customer, which
Yeah.
is international customer. And me being in Greece, based in Greece, it's very hard to find and sit down and talk and listen to their needs and what they think of the brand. But it's also it's very nice because it's very affirming and you feel good for the people that actually love the brand. And for some of them that have been purchasing and having their signature perfume and resonating with your vision. It's great.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. And every customer is different in every country, different, different demographics represent different kind of feedback. So it's good that you get all of that. That's very good. So what are your immediate future plans? Do we have anything in the pipeline we should be looking forward to?
Yes, we do. In October, most likely, I'm going to introduce a new perfume, a collaboration with Sofia Bardelli. It took us over 2 years because I wanted a perfume based on almond, and I love almonds. And in Greece, we give at weddings sugar-coated almonds.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that on the back of my head for many, many years. And there is a beautiful mythological story about Almond who was waiting for her lover and he didn't come. And Zeus turned her into a tree so she can wait even longer. And he returned to her in wintertime. And that's why almonds blossom during winter. So I love the love story and I want
Yeah.
something sweet, sensual, which, as you said, is part of the DNA. I never realized. So it's coming in October.
Oh, nice. I can't wait to smell it. Do you have any events for the rest of the year that you'll be attending? Do you do
Uh,
shows?
I was actually in the US, like in May. I was in the US. We've done an event in Philadelphia. I've done a lot throughout the year, but now as we lead towards Christmas and with the new launch, I'm going to take it a bit more easy. And then I'm going to start again visits and events during 2026.
Nice, nice. I noticed also on your website you have candles, home fragrance. Is that
Yes.
something new or was it there before?
It's fairly new. I'm obsessed with candles as well, but it's a difficult. I found candles I'm very peculiar with them because I wanted to be 100% with soya. And
So, if somebody was trying you out for the first time, what would you recommend to them that they should start?
oh, that's a hard question. It will depend on whether they like niche perfumery or they are new to niche perfumery. If they're new to niche perfumery, I will take them on the gourmands first because I think they're easier, they're more pleasing, they're more trendy in some sort of way. If they're not, then I will take them to either a floral or I will take them to, I like Sillage Royal a lot. I will take them to something more complex, something that they need to understand because lots of my perfumes, you can't just spray and say, I like it and I'm going to buy it. You need to leave it on skin and see how it's going to develop throughout the day. They evolve. It's not a flat perfume.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
you need to leave the perfume. Just take a sample, try it on skin, leave, go out, see how it's going to evolve, leave it for a day, see what it makes you feel, because emotions are very important. And perfume has that great ability to boost us, boost emotions, to make us feel positive, happy, confident, sensual, anything. So use it, see how you feel, see how others see you, which is also important because if others compliment you or they say something nice to you, it's also very important. Leave the perfume and then go back and make a choice.
So Discovery Set would be an ideal place for anybody to start. So you can really experience each perfume, as they are not linear, they're not flat perfumes. They unfold and tell a story, and to ride that wave is a very essential part in discovering your perfumes. I love them, and I wear them actually when I was testing them. I like to wear and test perfumes when I go to bed because I wake up a lot. And every time I wake up, I smell it. And the perfume smells different every time I wake up and I smell it. And I also can test the longevity of it. It's not mixed with anything else. It's in my bed. There's no other fragrance. So that's the best way I test a perfume, is at bed.
No, I love it. It's almost the way I test a perfume because
Really?
I go to shower in the evening, I
Mm-hmm.
spray myself, I go to bed, I see how it makes me feel, what dreams I've got in the night. And if I wake up and I have a nice sleep, I feel beautiful and it is still there, it's a good choice. When you create a perfume, in the end, you've got lots of little bottles and the difference is tiny. So choosing is very hard. And obviously, I choose mainly depending on myself because I've got my skin. So everything is tested mainly on me. So I think shower, a perfume, sleep is the best. At least it's what I do. So I
Well,
think,
both of us cancers, we do
yeah.
it the same way.
Exactly.
We do it the same day. So, what has been, I'm going to ask you a final question, and if you'd like to add anything else, please do. What has been your proudest moment as a founder so far? Is there a moment that you can recall?
When I started in the business, everyone literally thought I was crazy because in Greece, everyone was saying to me, you're going to compete with giant companies. You're never going to do enough. You're never going to be able to manage big growth. You're never going to buy a lot so that you can reduce costs. It's going to be very difficult. You can't do marketing. You can't get all these big Hollywood stars, which I didn't, but doesn't matter. You find your own way, you find your own voice, and this is very important. So the proudest moment was the first time I got, I was finalist for awards, both for Fragrance Foundation and Art and Reflection, because it happened to be on the same year. And it was amazing because, you know, you do something, you follow your instinct, you love it, it's passion. But when somebody from the industry actually comes and tells you, green light, what you do is actually good,
Yeah.
then I cannot describe how amazing this feeling is. And they basically tell you, you're doing something good. You know, they pat you on the back. Move on. You're doing great. Do what you think is good. Move on. People like it. People will feel something about it. You moved people. And there is nothing better than that. That is a moment. And obviously, the first time I attended the ceremony, where everyone, I was on my own, and there were people with big company houses, with lots of people from every company, and you're on your own. But it's so fulfilling because it makes you believe that if I did it, and from a small place, from a small country, then anyone can do it. It's like living the dream moment. So that's my proudest moment. I really, hopefully there's going to be more, but yeah, that's the best so far.
I have a feeling it's not the only time. You have many, 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 many to come, and we will be your biggest cheerleaders
Oh, bless
over
you.
here
Thank
in
you so much.
Washington, D.C.
Thank
I
you.
love it. I love it so much. Thank you, Manos, for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your with us and your products with us.